to make you wait. Did you get the bathroom break already?
I did.
Okay, good. Better with the cuffs too, right? Yeah, I saw you and I was like, ugh. Because I've heard myself got a bad hip, knee thing going on, and that's no way to.
I go through cycles where
inflammation.
I'm okay, and sometimes it's really bad. And this last week has been one of those bad ones. So.
Where you have a bad period.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I called you earlier today. You know what we were talking about. Do you understand why you're here now? Okay.
I have an idea.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to answer all your questions.
It has something to do with the same thing.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know anything.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go over your rights with you and show you what you're being charged with, and ask you questions, and you can ask me questions. And if any time after that or before or whatever you don't want to talk, you don't have to, obviously. So I'm going to read you your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions, and I have it with you during questioning. If you're not afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any questioning if you wish. If you decide to answer questions without a lawyer present, you will still have the right to stop answering at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. Do you understand each of these rights I've explained to you?
Yes.
Okay. With these rights in mind, will you talk to me now? Because it's important to get your side of the story, and you know about Jimmy being arrested this morning.
I have no idea what that was about. I didn't
Okay.
know if he was
Well,
I know he was on parole, so I didn't know if he got violated or what.
He did for being in Florida with you. With these rights in mind, will you talk to me now?
I mean, I'm happy to hear what you have to say.
So yes. Yes or no?
Yeah, you can.
Like I said, you can stop talking at any time.
Yeah, you can talk to me.
Thank you for letting me talk to you. Okay. Jimmy had a BOP warrant yesterday, or 2 days ago. I'm losing my mind. Yesterday or 2 days ago, I can't remember right now. I think it's Thursday right now, the 27th.
Yeah, I don't know what the BOP is.
I'm sorry. Violation of probation.
Okay.
I thought you might. Have you ever been on probation before?
Yeah.
But you never violated.
Right.
Violation of probation, first federal probation, and he's violated. He's in Florida with you during that weekend. You said you were sick in bed.
No.
I'm gonna tell you what I know, and then you can tell me. Okay. The video of you working in the garage on your friend's car, Christian, or whatever you want to call him, friend. You've known him forever, so I call him a friend. He may be a landlord, but he's still your friend.
Yeah, worked on it a lot.
Yeah, and you set up a surveillance system for him.
Mm-hmm.
We reviewed the video. You were not there during when you said. We know you weren't in bed. I
never said that I was in bed the whole
I'm sorry.
weekend.
You said you were sick all weekend,
right,
at home. So whether that means you walked outside or whatever, I know you weren't there. I have you physically documented with photographs where you went, where you shopped, where you spent time. I know. Listen, you can't beat this. It is what it is. Okay, right now, I want your side of the story. I don't think it's fair for Mark Sievers to not be in jail after he hired you and, well, I don't know if he knew about Jimmy, but after he hired you to help him with his problem, and you brought Jimmy in, and you guys went down, did the deed, verified that Jimmy was there, had pictures of Jimmy there with you guys side by side, with date and time stamp, GPS location. It's done deal. You're in Florida in the weekend. You're right near Teresa Sievers' house. You went to the house. Now, here's the difference. Whether you went in there dressed up with a suit and killed Teresa, or Jimmy did it and you were outside, that's different. Being a lookout versus actually being the one that killed her, that actually physically ended her life, is way different. Because it's reasonable to me to suggest, based on your handicap, your disabilities, your inflammation, that you maybe didn't possess the strength to do it. Keep in mind, I have Jimmy's talking, and Mark, if he has a brain, because he's not getting that money. He's not going to get the money. They know that he's involved in the homicide of his wife. He will not see that money. You guys are never going to see that money because he's not going to see the money. So now is the time to explain how and why to save your own life. Because in Florida, premeditation, if we charge it, because right now you're being charged with second-degree homicide. And second degree is showing depraved mind is what we call it. Depraved mind. And you're very educated, so I know you know what depraved mind means. That's second degree. First degree shows that it wasn't depraved, or maybe not only was it depraved, it's premeditated. And premeditation is when you plan it out. Obviously this was planned out, but right now you're not charged with that. That may come, that may not. If it does come, it's death penalty eligible. This one alone is punishable by life. So you're facing a PBL. Punishable by life. So, you explaining that Mark asked you to come down and talk to her, or Mark asked you to come down and kill her because she was going to take the kids away from him and that was his world, plus, as a bonus, there was going to be money. But his main goal was keeping his daughters, or however Mark wanted to spin it. Mark's not arrested yet, and unfortunately, all the physical evidence shows you and Jimmy right now. You guys are done. That's a done deal, unfortunately. And Mark's free. And if I was you, even if I knew Mark since 14 years old, and I have I think 2 friends left in my life from 14 years old, if they asked me to do a job, and unfortunately I got caught, even though I used cash, and I left my phone at home, and I brought my other friend and used his phone, and blah, blah, blah. But if they didn't go to jail, and I did, and I'm losing the rest of my life, because how old are you now?
48.
Okay, 48. Life. 25, 35 years with parole. So add 30 years to your life right now, okay? So 78 years old, coming out, for what's left of your life. Or you may be locked up spending the rest of your life in prison. Or they, like I said, it's a death penalty eligible crime. If they charge first degree. Right now they haven't done that to you yet. Right now it's second degree, depraved mind. And, there's all kinds of explanations. Also, there's the opportunity to say, I'm sorry. I didn't physically do it. I brought Jimmy in. Jimmy actually fucking did it. I feel bad. It just got away from us. We didn't really want to do this, but we did it. We're here, and it makes sense. It made sense ahead of time, but it didn't now. That's what we need to know. Because right now, Mark is free. Mark Sievers is free. He's the one walking on the beach. He's the one pretending that I'm such a good father, that I'm going to protect these kids. And I'm not saying he's not a good father, because obviously those girls he's a great father. He's a great father. I just think he made a poor choice. Because those girls, you see those smiles, you see the light in their eyes. You remember what that was like being a kid that age. Everything was awesome. It was so simple. It was so much fun. It was so much more simple. And then life gets away from us, and we make choices. Look at your scars. You didn't do that to yourself. These things happen, and I have those too. I have a nice one here. I have the ones here, the elbows, my hips. I'm all jacked up. And the older I get, the more jacked up I get. I get it. Life gets away from us. We want creature comforts, and we need to plan for our life. And then we go, wow, I'm halfway through, I think. My quality of life's not where I want it to be. Here's an opportunity. With that amount of money that he was going to get, if he found a better way to end his life, end his wife's life, it probably would have been really comfort. And knowing the relationship, I think I understand, or I don't want to insult you. Because I don't want to say, people say, I know how you feel. That always bothers me when people say, I know how you feel. Because you don't know how I feel. You can maybe imagine how I feel, but you're not inside me. You don't live my life. You don't feel what I feel. So I'm never going to disrespect you like that. What I mean by, I understand, I kind of grasp the relationship of you and Mark's very close. That's cool that, you're 14 years old, right? Or roughly 14 years old. You've known Mark longer now than you were alive before you met him. So it's a special relationship. Plus you care about each other. You love each other. You're brothers. You care each other very much. And it's special. And it means a lot. And that could explain to me why you felt compelled to help Mark. But I need to hear this from you now. This is your opportunity. Because the walls are closing, the wagons have circled. I am taking you to Florida. You're going to be coming with us. Jimmy's coming to Florida. They're going to finish his nonsense with his technical violation of probation. And he's coming down for second degree homicide also. Because I know what he did. And I'm pretty sure, I think I got it kind of figured out, that as much as you look like Mark wasn't supposed to be in the neighborhood that weekend. So there's a good chance maybe you were a lookout and Jimmy slipped in ahead of time and was waiting for Teresa. Because you knew how it was going to be. You knew the code to the garage. You knew her her timeline because you and Mark negotiated this. You talked about it back in May, and you had a nice plan, and it made sense. And maybe not May, but I know it. Here's what I do know, Wayne. It was planned out, and Teresa's dead. Teresa has 2 little girls that deserve to have answers and justice. They will never be fulfilled with anything I do. There will always be that empty hole in their heart, which is terrible because they don't know the world yet, but this is their impression of the world. But even then, when they spoke about their mama at that funeral, and the maturity and the specialness and the purity of that age, it shows, like you said, Mark is an excellent father.
Yeah, they're incredible little girls.
And that's the irony of the situation. In his attempt to protect his relationship with them and not lose them, he ended up losing them because they're going to find out. They're going to find out what Dad did. And he could try to explain it away and say, well, I got drunk and I talked to Wayne about it, and I think Wayne just took steps on his own because he cares about me, and this is where we're at. He's going to blame you. He's going to blame Jimmy. I don't even know if he knew about Jimmy ahead of time. I think he just asked for your help, and you recruited Jimmy. Either way. Now's the time.
Either way. It's neither way. But
Neither way. Well, what do you think happened then?
Honestly, I don't know what happened. I think, based on everything that I've seen in the news, that...
What's the news, man?
Oh,
Don't trust the news. The news is silly.
Well, I know.
They're making up stuff.
But it's, the stuff with all these doctors being killed,
we researched them, and that's fabrications. They're not being killed. One killed himself. One was a natural death. Teresa was a murder.
In the chest.
Yeah, well...
With a shotgun.
I know.
And then fell in the river.
I know.
No.
Yeah, I've worked on it before. You know why they do it there? They want to protect their face for the funeral. It's vanity. Where it's just too intimidating to feel the steel against their face. I've worked these before. That's exactly how it went. Either way, we're dealing with this right now. This is not a doctor homicide. Even the most creative screenwriter is not going to pitch the Hollywood motion picture about there's a doctor serial killer out there and it's not you, because I have you there. I have you at the scene. I have you getting supplies for the scene. I have you on tape. I have you with Jimmy. It's a done deal. It's all wrapped up together in a bun. Did you guys do a pretty decent job with the scene? Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. I could tell that you guys thought about this. You talked about it. You're like, this is the best way to do this. This is the best way to do that. We'll make this look like that, and we'll make this look like this, and it's logical. However, next time you're going to simulate something like that, you may want to show that shit was stolen. Or it was loaded up, ready to go by the front door or side door, or make it look really good. You were close, but it was so close to being good, but it didn't work out. You do know what I'm talking about, Wayne, and I want this to resonate with you. This is a real thing. This is really happening. You were coming to Florida against your will, or maybe you want the trip. You are going to be tried for second-degree homicide, and I have it all lined up. That's why I did an arrest warrant. This is me. I was allowed to search the entire U.S. for you. That's what this. That's extradition, and this is your charge, and this is holds no bond to be set by first appearance judge. Curtis Wayne Wright, second-degree murder, punishable by life felony. This is your murder warrant, and this is the extradition. This is a done deal. You are coming with us. So the thing that I want to know from you is how and why, because I know most of the how, but I want to hear it from your perspective. I want to hear, did you go there to maybe talk to her about making the choices she was making because she was about to take the kids away from you and Mark and take them on her little trip across the country as she filmed her new show and packs up the house and packs up the office, and Mark would be left with nothing because he has dedicated himself to being a supportive husband, an excellent father, and he tried to help out with the office manager stuff. He's not so good at keeping up with paperwork, and what I can't get over is I don't think he was appreciated enough. And
that was always Mark's strong point, was
not filing paperwork.
Money and paperwork.
Maybe the money part, but not the paperwork. But you should see the paperwork in his office stacked up. You know what it reminded me of, like when you watch like old Ebenezer Scrooge or something. You see these books and the Spider-Man. It cracked me up. But I will say they were organized piles.
Well, I know that they had just been through like tax stuff going on. So because he had called me multiple times asking me about different things if I knew anything about some of the tax things.
I would call you too, especially with how technically inclined you are.
With the as far as because they were using QuickBooks, which is one of the programs that I know, and so I mean it doesn't surprise me that there was piles of paper everywhere.
Yeah.
He was going back through like a couple of years worth of stuff to try to get the taxes straightened out.
Yeah. Well, obviously they did a good job. They were coming out the right side of it. So you're right.
No.
You're right. He's good with money for sure. Well, let me ask you this: how does it make you feel that he's not in jail yet? Because you and Jimmy are going down for this, and right now it's you and Jimmy. And yeah, you had something to gain by doing it, but you didn't in the beginning. Money is an after thing. Plus, I know you really care about Mark and his happiness, so you did have that to gain. But I mean, if you never knew Teresa, you had nothing to gain by her death, but Mark had everything to gain, and you helped facilitate that.
Well, my understanding of not my understanding. I mean, I know this to be true. Is that that practice was just really taken off.
Yes.
Her things with the TV shows.
Oh yeah.
So their future was just really launching. So I disagree with you that he had financial motives.
No.
You're right. He was worth a whole lot more alive than dead. So
it was the kid
I
issue.
don't see
It was the kid issue. He was not going to see those kids as much as he wanted, and maybe it was the perceived issue of loss of
Mark
status.
and I were close, and he never once voiced to me that there was a problem in their relationship. I never seen it. When I was down there, I mean, there were no issues. Like you said, I mean, Teresa was a firecracker. So
she's a bull. She's a bull, man.
But her and Mark somehow balanced each other. I don't.
They did,
I couldn't have been with her.
Well,
we're not. I'm definitely not compatible with her. But
not for a living. But
Mark was, and they made they made it work, and
they did for a while, but
and they were happy together as far as I know, and I was never told any different. So
she told her sister Mark was about to hit the road. He knew that though. He knew that. You know that too.
No, I really don't.
You didn't know that she was going to leave him.
No.
Okay. Let me ask you this: did you directly kill Teresa?
No.
Did you directly have any planning to do with killing Teresa?
No, I didn't.
Did you?
I don't even know anything about. You're saying that Mark planned this thing and stuff. I saw him at the wedding. There was nothing said like that. He never even mentioned that they were having problems. And we all went out. We went out the day before. We went out. They come up. We barbecued the night before the wedding. We all went out, and Mark and Jimmy, everybody, we all crashed at my house because nobody's drinking and driving, and we spent the day together. It was,
Was Teresa there?
No, she had to work.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
And it, just like when we went to, whenever it was when we did our family vacation, I went down to Titusville and then
March 2014.
Was that March?
Mm-hmm. The spring break time.
Okay, well, whenever it was, we, because I can't remember, but we went to, it's not Six Flags, what is that there?
In Florida?
Yeah, not Disney. The other
Busch Gardens? Tampa?
Yeah, Busch Gardens. And Mark and the girls came up and we all went. So
was Teresa there?
No, she had to work. I mean, she worked all the time.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Wayne, were you in
Matter
Florida?
of fact, that weekend was, I remember that weekend, the reason we didn't go to his house while we were out there was because I think Teresa's sister was in town. So we didn't go because Teresa had family in. I don't know how many, if it was just her sister or what, but that weekend that we were there, we weren't able to stay at their house because Teresa's family was in town. So,
Okay, that makes sense. Where'd you stay then?
Well, we had bounced all over the place on that trip because we went to Busch Gardens one day. Like I said, we were in Titusville. We went to like Cocoa Beach out there one day. We hit like a different beach each day.
Oh wow,
So
that's
we
really
were,
cool.
You know, we did the whole thing. So
sure. Wait, were you in Florida the weekend Teresa Sievers was killed?
No, and
yes, you were.
Okay, we're yeah. This is where I'm not supposed to talk to you anymore. I have an attorney, and I'm not supposed to talk to you. I don't want to.
Well, it's up to you.
I'm trying to.
What do you want to tell me?
I was trying to help you.
Help me.
You know, before with. I don't have anything to give you to help you, but I was trying to help with any information that I had before.
What do you think about Jimmy being charged with murder?
I find that hard to believe, but
why? Help me out with Jimmy then. Let's pretend you have nothing to do with this.
Well, I haven't known Jimmy that long.
How long have you known Jimmy?
I met him in the St. Genevieve County Jail down there. Is where I met him at.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
just to clarify too,
that was when he got his charges that he's on parole for now. Okay. So that's when I met him. I don't know how long ago that was, but he was in prison. Mm-hmm. So it's not like we hung out or anything. We
right.
We wrote back and forth a little bit and things like that. So yeah, like letters. So. Inside
the jail?
No. My charges got dropped and I went home. He was there on federal. Mm-hmm. See, and St. Genevieve is a federal holdover. So there's both state and federal.
Yeah, mixed up together. Yeah.
So that's how I met him.
Okay.
And so.
What kind of impression did he make on you?
I bragged a lot. He's a kid.
He's a kid.
I think he was only 20 when.
Oh wow. God, he must have been even
more. I remember on his 21st birthday when we were there, because he was waiting to go, I guess, to the Justice Center or something, in order to get put wherever he was going. He had already been charged, I guess, and was just waiting for him to place him. And I was waiting.
Let me clarify something with you real quick, because when I pressed the issue with you where you were, and we know where you were, you said I'm not supposed to talk to you, but then you continued to talk to me. Do you feel like I'm forcing you to talk to me right now?
No, not at all.
You understand?
But you're asking a question. You asked me about Jimmy and my impression of Jimmy,
right?
And that has nothing directly to do with what we're talking about here. And I'm sure that I'm not supposed to talk to you at all about anything.
Well, it's your choice.
But again, I'm
it's your choice.
I have nothing to hide except that obviously you decided that I had something to do with this. So I can't talk to you about it because that's not.
Because what?
Well, because I've been charged for something I didn't do, so this is what lawyers are for, so.
No, I understand all that. I agree. So, and paperwork and stuff like that. But I just want you to understand, because I feel you deserve the opportunity. And I'm not going to lie to you, this is real simple. Any light you shed on this is beneficial, because Teresa Sievers was killed. Teresa Sievers has daughters and that need to have answers when they're adults. Teresa Sievers has family that deserves to know how and why.
Right. It was a tragedy. It's still a tragedy.
It will always be a tragedy, Wayne. And that's what's frustrating about this is I know what happened, and you don't want to tell your side of the story, and you say you want to help me, and you do want to help me, but you don't want to get yourself in trouble because it hurts. And nothing feels good to ever talk about yourself and get yourself in trouble.
No, I didn't say that I didn't want to talk to you because I didn't want to get myself in trouble.
No. You never said that. No. So, I'm speculating. I'm speculating. I'm not. You never said that to me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to come off like I'm putting words in your mouth. I will never put words in your mouth. I want to hear in your own words why. Because I know how and I know when. And like I said, you're on video. I have you physically tracked there electronically. Unfortunately, Jimmy's not as careful as you are, and I don't know why he would take those steps.
Speak for Jimmy, but
what would you say for Jimmy?
I don't know, because...
Do you believe Jimmy's capable of murdering Teresa Sievers?
I don't think so. Everything about Jimmy that I know of Jimmy is just fiddly stuff, kid stuff. I mean, bragging. I know I've heard his story about, what happened leading up to what the charges were he got, and and I saw his discovery, so I know what was there, and and that was the thing where he was on probation over something that had nothing to do with anything serious. I think he was driving over 120 miles an hour or something, which apparently is a felony, and he got pulled over and got a ticket for it, and they put him on whatever. Anyway, he got put on probation over it. And then I guess his mom and his dad both passed away when he was younger, which is, I guess, part of why he's the way he is. But
well, he said his father murdered his mom, and they made it look like a suicide. And I said, really? Because he had that tattoo on his chest. He says the Chinese number 9. Tell what he was when mom was killed. And he has murder, death, destruction. He said that's because his mom was murdered. And I said, you commemorated the memory of your mother being murdered when you were 9 years old by getting Chinese 9 which says murder, death, destruction. And then you said your father did it.
Yeah, I didn't know how much of that story to believe. I did hear that.
How do you feel about Jimmy? Do you care about him?
I like Jimmy. My interaction with Jimmy has been fairly shallow. I mean, we hang out. Now that he's got a girlfriend,
Well, he's got, is it his fiance or his girlfriend?
I don't know. It depends on which one you ask, I think.
Yeah. Well said, my friend. Well said. Yeah, exactly. The girls have a tendency of doing that sometimes.
So I don't know. I don't really know Jimmy like that.
Sure. Not like you and Mark are close.
Well,
you
Mark
have
and
history.
We grew up together.
It's way different.
We went through high school. We went to 2 different colleges, so we were off and on.
Yeah, well, you were,
Well, he went to Mizzou, and
sure.
And he got his nursing degree and all of that.
Okay.
So I mean,
he did well, but it's not like what you did. You were probably 50 IQ points above, at least. I'm not putting Mark down. He's a smart guy, but you are way smart.
Sharp.
He's sharp. He's sharp, but you're really smart, and you're sharp. You got both.
But yeah, I mean, and then, when I was at his wedding, so that we stayed close up to that point. After he got married, he was in Florida, and
I met her.
So he met her. I think, if I remember right, his sister, who was a holistic doctor, introduced him. I think is what happened.
Mark's sister.
Yes. And
gotcha.
She's passed too.
What happened with that? How did that happen? It's so sad.
Let's see. You know what? I'm not sure. I think they said it was an overdose, but Mark and I knew his sister just surfaced. Mark was absolutely sure that she didn't do drug. It was heroin.
Wow.
So he was absolutely sure that she did not use. Her girlfriend did, but she didn't. And then she came up overdosed when they were going to split up or something. So
that's suspect.
Yeah, and that's what it was.
Where did this happen?
A city in Florida, down there. I don't know where. I think it was somewhere around St. Pete.
The police ever interviewed the girlfriend?
I don't know. I
Wow.
wasn't really around.
A long time ago?
I heard, it was since they've been married, so.
Okay.
So, you know, and I talked to him. I wasn't there for the funeral or anything, but I remember when it happened, and I remember calling him and, you know, and telling him, you know, I was sorry to hear. But for that, I don't know why. How long were her and Mark married? 10 years?
I thought it was more than that. I thought it was 12.
It may have been. But let's see. We've been Mark and I kind of, we didn't disassociate at all, but we stopped talking on a regular basis.
For a little bit?
Yeah. So
but you
probably
were
once a month we would still talk. Anytime there was holidays or birthdays and things like that. Mark was one of those people that could remember like days that two people met, you know, and anniversaries. And
that's crazy how sharp.
I mean, and it's like I can't even remember my own birthday.
Me either.
But he could remember that stuff.
That's a program and stuff.
You know, and
yeah, but you have you're different though because you have that extremely intricate coding technical know-how that that's like another language. You're like multilingual. That's a gift. So if the trade-off,
a gift, yes.
The trade-off.
Unfortunately, that gift was fairly lost from the accident, but
really,
along with I mean, I couldn't program now. I'm sure that I could write simple things, but for the development stuff that I was doing, there's no possible way. That's the reason that.
And that was from the car crash, right?
Yeah. And even prior to the car crash,
you were starting having trouble.
I was having the problems with, you know, it was a misdiagnosis. I know that because I've met people that have it, and our symptoms there's some similarities, but there are some things that really just aren't.
I want to show you a picture. Okay? And I hope this makes this more real for you. Okay? Just to switch subjects a little bit here. See that? See who that is? That's you. You know who that is?
Can't tell who there is.
Oh, come on. Let me make it bigger for you. There we go. That's you. Right?
Doesn't look like me to me, but...
You're going to say that's not you?
Yeah, I'm going to say that doesn't look like me. I mean, if the other one's so blurry, I can't tell.
That's blurry? When's the last time you had your eyes checked, man? Are you near or farsighted?
I have astigmatism.
Okay, well. Yeah, those are a little dirty.
Probably isn't helpful.
No, use your shorts.
That'll work.
Alright. Reconfirming. That weekend we talked about, has your story changed since the last time? That Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you were in Missouri and not in Florida, correct?
Right.
And why were you in Missouri and not Florida?
Well, because I decided not to go. But my Florida trip wasn't to that side of Florida anyway. But I didn't go because, you know, when I'm hurting, my shoulders hurt. I can't keep my hands on the steering wheel. You know, I get dizzy.
You're just sick. You don't feel good.
But it's not. I know that's confusing because I call it sick.
It's not. I know exactly what you mean by sick.
I don't mean like.
My friend had a rheumatoid arthritis.
It's
very similar. The inflammation. I know exactly what you're going through. I have not felt it, but I know what's been described to me. It's ridiculous.
Yes, it's very painful, and
let me show you again, okay? Here's one of 3 different videos, not shots. This is one place. This is one of 3 different locations where I had you with Jimmy. In Florida. That's actually the day you guys killed Teresa. That's the Sunday when she flew into town. I mean, it was close to midnight, so I don't know if you waited till late Sunday night, right before midnight, or if you did it early Monday morning, right after midnight. But that's the day you guys killed her, and that's real close to her house. So, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I want to hear why. I want to hear why, because honestly, from everything, you're intelligent, you're sophisticated, you have all kinds of potential. I want to hear why. And I know Mark's behind it, because you had no motivation, and tell me if I'm wrong, to do anything to Teresa. I want to know why.
No, I like Teresa. I mean, she was helping me, so
yeah. Well,
I have no reason to have wanted to hurt her. So,
Then tell me why.
But I was not there. I see that you think that that's me on that video, but that's not me. I was in Missouri. So, what Jimmy did or didn't do, I can't speak for him.
We know what Jimmy did. That's why he calls himself the Hammer. Jimmy the Hammer, right?
Well, no, that's not. The reason that he told me that they called him that was because he's apparently built really well, and that's what he's talking about when he says the Hammer.
Like he's
hung like a.
Oh, like he's got a big penis.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's not shy about it, and well, I mean.
I know you know.
Well, the only reason I know is because he tends to pull it out in public and.
Well, I don't have a problem with
people around. So,
this is the 2000s, man. There's no judgment here at all. I don't have a problem.
Oh no! I see where you're going with that. No.
No?
That is not.
Has Jimmy ever made a pass at you?
No.
Why not?
Why would he? I'm not gay.
I didn't say you're gay. That doesn't make you gay. It's just
okay.
activity.
Okay. Yeah. It does.
Well, what's wrong with that? Just because you want to have a little fun doesn't mean there's something wrong with it.
Well, it's wrong to me.
Why?
So everybody each to their own, but it's not my thing.
Okay.
It's wrong to me.
Okay. I'm not trying to be offensive.
Okay.
I don't want to offend you.
Yeah.
So Jimmy's never made a pass at you?
No.
Alright. He pulls his penis out a lot. Why?
Because he likes to chase girls around with it, because I think honestly, I think he's insecure.
Sure. Oh yeah, that's why he talks so much.
Issues.
That's why he talks so much.
And from like his girlfriend, because he talks about his penis nonstop. And
what does she say about all this?
Well, she agrees with him. So.
It's like, what's she say?
I've never seen it hard. So all I see is when he's twirling it around and it's in bars chasing girls around with it.
Oh.
I mean, the guy has no boundaries at all.
Have you ever got beaten up for that? No guys beat him up?
No.
Oh my gosh.
It's
crazy.
He
in the bar? What bar were you guys at? It's crazy.
I don't know.
That's so silly. Wow.
He did it at the house one night when some of Andy's friends were over. He's always trying to pull it out in front of Angie. He'll like pull it out and he'll say, "Turn around," and she's like, "I'm not looking." It's he does it in a way, and he does it so much that it's really not. I don't know.
It's almost
it's hard to take him serious, because of his personality.
Sure.
He is. So it's hard to be mad at him because he does it.
You're being
not like
crazy.
He doesn't do anything that he wouldn't do in front of you.
Oh yeah.
So it's like so you're hitting on my wife all the time.
Right.
You hit on everybody all the time. If
right.
you had a sister, you'd probably be hitting on her.
Too.
So it's but that's just Jimmy. So
Do you guys have an open relationship? You and Angie?
No.
No?
No, she's stingy.
She's what? She's stingy?
I tease her about that. I call her stingy. But no, we don't. We're married. And that's...
Well, like I said, it's the 2000s. Everybody's got different concepts.
And I have friends that are. And,
sure.
And some are open about it, some aren't.
Well, yeah.
And, and it's... I mean, it's none of my business. It doesn't affect me. It's,
right. Yeah, and no one's getting hurt, blah, blah, blah.
So,
right. I was led to believe that you guys were more open, and that if you guys are drinking, having a good time, sometimes things happen. But again, like, I don't think that makes anyone gay. I just think that means you're having a good time. So.
Who? Me and Jimmy and the girls? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No?
No.
No threesomes?
No.
No foursomes?
No.
All right. All right. Well.
Yeah, no. I don't know who told you that, but that's...
So, if I showed you a video, again, of you and Jimmy, because that's you and Jimmy, you know it is. I know you were there, you know you were there. If I show you a video, which I know you would find hard to believe, of you that night in Mark's street going towards the house, what would you say to that?
I would say that that's not possible.
Why would you say it's not possible?
Because I wasn't there.
Okay. What would you say if Jimmy was there? How would you think Jimmy got down to Florida?
I couldn't answer to that in any way.
What would you say when Jimmy pretty much said...
Jimmy has a new car, so, I mean, I would think if Jimmy was going to Florida, he'd drive his car. So...
Well, you didn't need to. You rented a car.
I rented a car because my car was in the shop.
I know, and then the amount of use you put on it showed you in Florida, just so you know that. And unfortunately, some rental cars today, because of theft, they have GPS.
I know.
Okay, and you think you have checked. Let me tell you something too. They're not always where you can see it. And sometimes they put the little sticker that says anti-theft device equipped, blah blah blah. Other times it's not.
Yeah, I didn't check it.
Well, what do you think about you being in Florida?
I was not in Florida, so a GPS can't put me in Florida. I wasn't there.
It actually can. It can, and it did, and I'll show it in court, and you'll see it then. I just want to know why. I know the house, most of the house. I mean, more of the house stuff and the intricate details would be fun to hear from you because you were intimately part of it. But the biggest thing is the why. And I don't know if you don't want to say it because you don't want to betray Mark, but I want you to understand something. There's a big press release right now about you, about Jimmy. If Mark has any common sense, real simple, he's going to have to find a reason. He's going to have to come up with something. It's so simple that he looks so guilty. So, I'm providing you an opportunity to tell your side of the story. This is an awesome opportunity. This means a lot. This is a special moment in time right now. It's preserved for you and me. No one else is here. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I don't mean to sound crazy.
Okay. You got me on that one. That's right.
Well, that's not what I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
but
I know.
You know what I'm saying.
You
know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. Unfortunately, you're not right.
Oh, Wayne. I wish I wasn't right. I wish Teresa was alive and being herself with her kids and Mark and things were different. But it is what it is, man. I've been living, eating, breathing this case since June 29th when she passed and we discovered her. And through the process of all of this, I was able to finally put it all together. And it was like this big puzzle, and I'd get a little piece and a little piece here, put it there, and start looking at this angle, went like that, flipped it upside down. I'm like, oh my God, Jimmy was with Wayne. All this time I thought it was maybe just Wayne helping Mark out. I'm like, oh my God, they're together on this. This is crazy. Which is dangerous because the best way for two people to keep a secret is for one to kill the other. It always comes out. It's going to come out. I know it sounds crazy, but Jimmy's young. Jimmy has a baby on the way. Jimmy's going to spill the beans if he has any common sense. He has youth on his side. Jimmy loves to talk. He's always running his damn mouth anyway. So Jimmy's going to spill it. It's a countdown. And unfortunately, you're not going to get to be able to reach out to him. You're going to be able to write letters to Jimmy. That's not going to happen. So once Jimmy does, Jimmy's going to be the one in the lead. And it's a race right now. Right now, Jimmy's in the lead. You're right here. You're close. And Mark's in the pack right here. Mark's going to get run over because the last one, the lion gets him first. And this time, you both got picked up first. But when I mean the lion, I'm talking about the law. The long arm of the law is going to reach out and pick him up and go, Jimmy talks, Jimmy wins, and then you'll be tried separately, and we'll be able to introduce all the different things, and it'll overlap, and maybe by that time, maybe by that time, hopefully by that time, you'll do something to shed light on the situation, to provide an opportunity to tell your side of the story. Because the truth may not set you free, but the truth is the truth. And unfortunately, you're involved in something that's been found out. We don't randomly arrest people. I know I don't anyway. I can't just say, hey you, I need this case closed, come with me. I know what you did. I know how you did it. I wanted to know why. And that's how we got this, because I was able to say who and how and when, but why, that comes out sometimes. Other times, why never comes out. That's what makes those police shows and those movies interesting, because they'll go into the mind of someone and they'll go, we don't know. We don't know. And it would be up to the person who did it to say, here's why. Because I could. Because it needed to be done. Because it was the right thing to do. Because I was attacked. Because I was defending myself. Who knows? That's the why. Why is really interesting to get. That's the stuff books are made out of too. I mean, that's really interesting. However, this is the time to hear why. Jimmy's going to roll, and then it'll just be the mountain falling on top of you because you're the recruiter. And it's disgusting because Mark set this in motion. But you recruited Jimmy, and Jimmy will be like, yeah, I may have killed her, but I was asked to do it, and it was $10,000, so it is what it is, man. I'm tired of living in that trailer. I needed that 3-bedroom house. I'm sick of it. I've been robbed too many times by these freaking meth heads in my neighborhood. I had a baby on the way. I did what I had to do. No one gave me anything. My mom was killed. My father did it. I killed him. This is no big deal for me, and this is how it is. I'm Jimmy. Jimmy got in trouble working running his damn mouth all the time. That's Jimmy. So let me tell you something right now. You're putting your fate in Jimmy's hand. So if that's what you want to go with, that's fine. Because when Jimmy shows us step-by-step all the different gas stations you went to, how he did some of the driving, and you did some of the driving, and you worked it out, and you took a little break at the rest stop, and you went here and you got some cleanup supplies to bag up things, and it all comes out, and like who brought what, where, and when, and how, and the outfit they wore got put here, and this got there, and this is there, and it all comes together, and I get to go Exhibit A through Z in court. Here they are, and I'll have those pictures, these huge poster boards. It's going to be up, and the jury's going to be like, oh my God. Oh, it's terrible. This mother, this doctor, these children, they're alone now. The father literally took himself out of it too. That's why I said that was the irony. Mark literally wanted to keep them so much that he got blinded and he got tunnel vision and forgot by doing this, he literally took himself out of their life or reduced the quality and the amount of the consistent time he'll get. Because it'll be supervised visits, it'll be reduced severely. But unfortunately, that's his problem. Your problem is that you were hired to do a job, or you were asked to do something for a friend that you care about and love very much, and then you brought in this other guy. So that's how it is. I know that's how it is. You know that's how it is. So now is the time to tell me why.
You're completely off base with what you're saying. That's not what happened.
What happened?
No, I'm not saying that I know what happened. I'm saying that didn't happen. What you're saying happened did not happen.
What happened?
I have no idea. But I didn't have anything to do with this. And
did Mark?
To my knowledge, Mark would have not. I can't see Mark having anything to do with it either. I mean, why? It doesn't make any sense to me. You're telling me that they were having marital problems. I was close, and I never saw that. He never talked to me about that. I just can't make myself accept that was really the way the relationship was based on what I saw. Like I said, Jimmy, I don't know. I don't know what Jimmy was doing that weekend. I didn't ask him. Sometimes I go weeks without talking to Jimmy. Sometimes, we'll talk a couple times a day. He works all the time, and I had a brief conversation with him. I don't know how many days ago it was, but I think it was probably the end of last week. Was it? Yeah, it probably was. about getting, I guess he had a night off or something, and he wanted to get together, and I wasn't feeling like doing anything, so I called him and told him that I wasn't going to be able to get together, that I wouldn't be able to get together with him. So I don't know what they ended up doing. I haven't talked to him since. But
did you talk to Jimmy on Saturday, June 27th, in the morning time?
I couldn't. I can't.
That weekend that you were supposed to go to Florida and stay home because you were sick, did you talk to Jimmy at all?
Over the weekend?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember anything. It wouldn't surprise me if I talked to him.
When you were supposed to go to Florida, were you going alone?
Well, originally, Jerry and I were going to go. Jerry Levinsky.
Levinsky.
Yeah, because we had been planning a trip down there for the antique stuff.
Right.
Help him with that. Actually, he just got back this week from going on the trip that we were going to go.
Oh, wow, cool.
So, I ended up obviously not going with him, but he, so I don't, I don't drive much anyway. I always have a problem with driving. Even going to my parents' house, which was 7.5 hours away, was usually a 2-day trip for me. When I'm not hurting, just because I've fallen asleep, I couldn't tell you how many accidents I've had falling asleep driving.
Were you supposed to go with anyone but Jerry?
At one point, they were even going to take my driver's license away because I have seizures and all kinds of things. So no, I never made any arrangements to go anywhere with anybody else. So.
Okay, so if you were talking to him that morning and he's asking you what time are you coming to pick him up, and you tell him 7 a.m., that doesn't sound right to you?
Well, Saturday morning.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember what was going on.
Did you go to Jimmy's house that weekend?
I don't know.
I thought you said you stayed home all weekend.
I didn't say I stayed home all weekend. I said I didn't go anywhere. I didn't. Okay, I see where you're saying. That could be confusing. No, I still went places. I just didn't go very far. I stuck around close. I worked on his truck.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Not that weekend.
I
have the videotape. No, you didn't.
Okay, you did. You have a video. You may not have a video of me working on it. That doesn't mean I didn't.
You are lying about that. You were not in that building. I have the camera angles. You're lying to me right now, and that's okay. We can get past the lie, but we're going to accept that you're lying to me about it.
Well,
that doesn't make you a bad person.
Working on the truck.
When
I had the
did
truck
you work
at my
on
house.
No.
I did.
No, it's on camera in there. It didn't run. Plus, you told me about how difficult it was with the tools to get underneath the seat. We had this conversation.
Yeah.
Don't lie to me about that.
I drove it around. You're going to find out that there's all kinds of witnesses that had. I was driving that thing around that weekend.
You know what beats an eyewitness?
So,
videotape of it. It didn't move. The truck was in the whole time.
So, that's not the case.
It's okay that you lied to me, but what we're going to do is we're going to move past the lie, and you can just tell me the truth.
Well, that's not a lie. I mean,
what is it?
Well, it's obviously something. There's something besides a lie, because I had the truck, and I have proof I had the truck. So,
where?
If the date was off on the DVR, and
no, we verified the date timestamp. It's good.
Right.
Accurate date timestamp.
I don't know. The electric was off in the unit.
No. There was no interruptions. It worked. It functioned. It worked. I verified all that. I have it secured. It's in my evidence vault in Lee County. It's locked down tight. We have it on lock.
Okay. So
listen.
I can't.
I forgive you.
You have no explanation for why you think that I didn't work on it.
I forgive you for lying. You did work on it on Wednesday, and you worked on it on Thursday. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you were in Florida. You did not work on that truck, and that's okay. Like I said, here's your past. Here's your forgiveness. I understand you attend church, Christian men, confession, things of that nature, so be it. I accept that you lied to me. I'm not going to take it personally, and I understand why. This is a very uncomfortable situation. However, it is what it is. We're going to move past it. Tell me what happened and why.
I can't tell you what happened because I don't know. And as to why, I don't know because I don't know who did it. I can't even speculate to why they did it. So
I'm going to ask you some direct questions.
Okay.
Did Mark Sievers talk to you about doing anything to his wife?
No.
Did Mark Sievers hire you to kill his wife?
No.
Did anyone hire you to kill Mark Sievers' wife?
No.
Did anyone hire you to kill Teresa Sievers?
No. Why? You're asking me the same question.
Because you just showed me that you were doing word game with me. So around town or at my house, at stay home.
That's not a word game.
Okay, then you and I misunderstood each other. You and I misunderstood each other then. So I want to make sure I understand very clear. Were you ever in Florida that weekend?
No.
The weekend of June 26th through June 29th? Yes or no?
If that was the weekend that...
Okay. You want me to show you a calendar?
Oh yeah. Well, showing me a calendar is not going to do me good. All I'm asking is that the weekend that she was killed?
Yes.
Then the answer is no.
Okay.
So...
Okay. That's perfect. That's perfect. I love that you're locking yourself into staying in Missouri when I have you not in Missouri. I have you in Florida. So if you want to lie like that, that's okay. Because all it does is further put you in a bad light. And I don't think you're a bad person. I think you made a bad choice. And now it's the time to rectify the bad choice. Come to Jesus, let it all out. Whatever you want to call it. Now's the time to let it out and say why. Because it is what it is. Like I said, and I hate to repeat that phrase, but we know what we know. You know what you know. I know you're going to tell me something different. This is very uncomfortable, and that's okay. We're doing it together. But I need to know what happened and why. Did Jimmy Rodgers ever say to you he was going to Florida to kill Teresa Sievers?
No.
Has Jimmy Rodgers ever told you that he wanted to kill Teresa Sievers?
No. I don't believe that I've ever had a conversation with Jimmy about Teresa.
Have you ever had a conversation with Jimmy Rodgers?
We were all together on my wedding, and even then, I don't think that anybody talked about Teresa other than that we wish she could have been there. So,
would it surprise you to hear that Jimmy Rodgers killed Teresa?
I've already. That doesn't seem like that's his nature to me. So yeah, I would be surprised if he was. It wouldn't be that if he killed her. It would be if he killed anybody.
Did Jimmy tell you that he killed her?
No.
What do you think should happen to somebody who killed Teresa Sievers?
Well, I don't know. I guess it would depend on what happened, but no matter whatever happened, she got killed. So, I mean, they should be punished. But like I said, I don't know. It's the stuff that I saw. I know you have a reason, or I don't know, an excuse for everything that happened to disprove it. But when I was at the house, they were going to have me replace the door while I was down there. That door was busted into. I don't believe that somebody that she knew or somebody that had a code or whatever would have had to break in the door. I believe that I believe either it was something to do with her work, one of her patients, somebody's father that she was helping turn his son from a boy to a girl, or whatever. I saw the which is, by the way, is something I didn't have any clue that was a big part of their business at all. I never dealt with any of the patient side of it. Mine was strictly from the technical side of it. That was something she was well known for, was the working with the not cross-gender, but transgender population and stuff. I never knew that. I would think that and they had that show on just a week or two before that happened, where they were interviewing her or something, where my parents told me they saw it and somebody else did too. where she was with the mother of like an 8-year-old boy that she was helping change to a girl. And it's like, you know, I don't know. I mean, if that was my kid, that would piss me off. I mean, not that I would go kill somebody, but I could see, you know, that type of work putting somebody in a lot of, you know, right in the target of a lot of people. I don't know. Would that happen? I have no idea.
Have you ever killed anyone?
No.
Would you ever kill anyone?
I would protect my family.
Okay, what if Mark is your family and you think you're protecting him?
Well, Mark's not my family. And
When you close like family?
Mark can take care of himself.
Did you kill Teresa to protect Mark?
No.
Why not?
Why would I? I don't think he needed to be protected. And even if he did, again, he's not my family. I'm talking about protecting my wife and my kids, okay, from somebody that breaks in the house and is trying to, not physical things to me don't really matter that much, but not necessarily trying to rob, but that I feel like it's threatening, our lives or it's going to, hurt my kids or, something like that. So, yeah, I believe that, it's our right to protect. Not just our right as men, it's our duty to protect our families from harm.
Well, that's what I think you thought this was. I think this was a call of duty.
No, it's not my family.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, Mark never once said anything to me about even that they were having problems. Not to mention that he never would have said, he never said anything to me about them being in any kind of, him hurting him or him feeling like his family was being threatened. So no, I don't. And no, I wouldn't. It's, like I said, that's Mark's job.
Do you think the killing of Teresa Sievers is wrong?
Well, I think the killing of anybody is wrong.
Let's just talk about Teresa Sievers for a minute.
Okay.
Do you think the killing of Teresa Sievers is wrong?
I just said that I think anybody being killed is wrong.
Let's put anybody away. Let's just talk about Teresa only. Do you think the killing of Teresa Sievers is wrong?
Yes, I do. But
why do you think it's wrong?
Because she obviously wasn't threatening somebody or getting ready to hurt somebody that they, it would be a self-defense thing. It would be the only way that would happen. So.
When you say that would be the only way it would happen, you mean that would be the only way it would be right?
No, not that it would be right. I can't judge right or wrong for somebody else. So no, I have no idea. I mean, I think that asking that question is, it's not even a real question. It's just part of the question. So
what's the right question to ask?
I don't know. I don't know what the right question is. Do I think that if she was about to pull the trigger and kill my kid, do I think it would be right to shoot her? Yeah. I mean, if I'm protecting my family.
Sure.
Well,
let me ask you this. Was Teresa about to do something that you needed to protect your family for? Is that why you killed her?
No.
Is that why you helped Jimmy kill her?
I did not help Jimmy kill her.
Is that why you helped Mark kill her?
I did not help Mark kill his wife.
Did you help anybody kill Teresa?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Let me ask you this. With that line of thought, were you in Florida that weekend?
No.
No. Okay. And that's why we're telling lies right now.
Well,
and listen, you look at me. You're a good person, and I'm not judging you for this at all. You made a choice. It became what it became, and that doesn't change who you are. Do you lead a secret life?
No.
You don't have any other stuff that you don't tell people about that you maybe do, whether it's sexually or anything else?
I'm an open book. Anybody that knows me knows.
Well, the people that know you, yes, you're open to them. But to me, I'm no stranger. We're starting to get to know each other more. We spent probably, one-on-one, we spent like 5 to 6 hours now together. But this is a judgment-free zone. Not that that means anything to you. I'm not your therapist. But listen, whether you lead a secret life and there's a little bit of sexual activity with people that are into it and people are having a good time, you're in the moment, and that's fine. there's no judgment about that. But what I can tell you is, lying about it seems pointless to me.
I am married.
Before you were married?
Before I was married, well, I've never been with a guy. Okay.
Never.
Before.
What do you call being with a guy? What do you consider being with a guy?
Anything.
Any kind of physical touching being with a guy?
Yeah.
How about kissing?
I believe in that 3-inch rule.
And what's 3-inch rule? What's that mean?
You can't get 3 inches from it.
So as long as that's a good joke. 3 inches.
There was a joke in.
All right. Well, no, but listen. Like I said, this is judgment free.
Something.
Scout camp. Okay.
Because we always just sleep in the same.
Same tent. Yeah, that's a 3-inch rule. That's funny. No, that's the thing, man. Like it happens. These things happen, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and
What?
I can't even imagine.
What?
Kissing another guy. You asked me if...
You never kissed a guy?
No.
You ever had a guy kiss you?
Well, not in the way that you're talking about.
What kind of way?
Well, in some kind of a sexual way.
What ways have you been kissed by a man?
Well, by my dad and, my son,
You get along with your dad?
Me? Yeah.
You like him?
Says we're too much alike, but, yeah, so...
Your mom seems really nice.
She is.
She's a sweetheart. Oh my gosh, she's a
Dad's
very strong woman.
Dad's a little antisocial, but
yeah, that's his dad's way.
And
Robert's really nice too.
No.
He's nice as heck. I thought he was very warm and friendly.
Yeah.
No? He's not?
Well, no, he is, but
what?
he's I don't know. He's
what? What about Robert? What?
He's very guarded, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he was nice. He was at home.
No, that's why
he was at his house. That's probably why he was nice.
So
we're all guarded to a degree,
they gave me 2 beautiful grandchildren that I adore. And
kids are so special, man.
And,
what are you going to do when Mark says that you killed Teresa and he told you not to do it? What are you going to do when that happens?
I will never have to face that question because that's not going to happen. He knows that doesn't want to happen.
What do you know has happened then?
Well, I have no idea what he knows, but he knows that I didn't do anything.
How do you know that he knows that?
Because I didn't. Why would he think that I did it?
Because you did.
I did not.
Oh my gosh. Wayne, I'm telling you, brother, this is a judgment-free zone. I know what you did, man. Listen, what about Jimmy? What are you going to do when Jimmy says, hell yeah, I got recruited. I needed the money. What are you going to do then?
I don't believe that would happen either.
Why?
Because it didn't happen.
What did you say to Jimmy then?
I didn't say anything to Jimmy. I told you, Jimmy and I don't talk. Mark, my relationship with Mark is totally different. It's become more of a business relationship. I mean, we are friends above everything. But our daily conversations are more business than anything. Somewhere in there they'll be tied in, house, family, whatever. But when I get the phone calls, it's not to say hello. Those that happen like in the evenings or things like that sometimes, but during the day when I get a call, it's because of something wrong at the office, and he needs me to tell him what to try.
Wait, what do you need to hear that's going to make you realize now's the time to tell the truth? Are you ever going to tell the truth?
I've already told the truth.
And you're telling me the truth is, I'm going to rebrief what you told me. You're telling me the truth is, you were in Missouri. You did not go to Florida the weekend Teresa Sievers was killed. You went there after she was killed.
Yeah, we got the phone call the day after. That's whatever.
Were you in Lee County the day of Teresa's death?
No, you keep asking me the same questions over and over.
I got to ask you different ways to make sure there's no confusion here. Were you in Florida at all the day Teresa was killed?
No, and
the day after Teresa was killed.
You don't want to know. You're not interested in my answer.
Oh, you keep asking. I am interested. You know why I'm interested in it? I'll tell you why I'm interested. I am. Look at me. I am interested in everything that comes out of your mouth.
I let you engage me in a conversation that...
I love what's coming out of it because 1, you have a funny sense of humor. 2, you're witty. 3, I love when you tell me things because it locks you into one story that you're in Missouri.
The truth. Yes.
One story. It's not the truth. One story. You're close enough, but you're so close, man. Because you give me these dark glimpses where the truth starts to come out, and you look at me, and I know you just want to either punch me out or tell me the truth. I see the look where you're like, you son of a gun, you got me.
Well,
listen.
No, that's not, that look is not, you got me. That's
frustration.
I can get frustrated.
Yeah, but you get dark. I see the dark.
So
it gets dark, and I get why. And listen, I want to lock you into the truth. Now, right now, you won't give me the truth, so I'm locking you into a story. And the story is, you are in Missouri, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Teresa is found. You say then you drove down the following day when you heard from Scott Sievers about Mark Sievers' wife Teresa being killed. You did hear from Scott.
Yeah.
Scott told you.
Yeah.
That's 100% true. That is a fact. That is completely confirmed. And the same techniques used to confirm that truth have been applied to your timeline before that, leading up to it. And these techniques have revealed that not only were you in Florida, that you were in Lee County, and not only were you in Lee County, you were in Bonita Springs where the Sievers live, and not only were you in Bonita Springs where the Sievers live, you were literally less than 5 minutes from their house at one point, and then, not only that, you were on their street. So all of these things come together, and that's just one little facet of these facts. And the good part is, you're locking yourself into a lie. I have the truth. I show that in court, and that's what helps me get a conviction. That's how this works. Now, what can sometimes be beneficial to everyone is, here's why I did what I did, and I'm sorry for it, or I was defending myself, or I was under duress, being forced to do something. The truth, or versions of the truth, but the truth will always be what it is. There's versions, and that's what I'm going to get. I'll get the version from Jimmy, I get the version from you, I'll get the version from Mark, because eventually his lawyer's going to go, you're facing time, you're going to get something. You better tell the truth, because you have two little girls that need a father, so you better be around. And Mark's going to go, I've never been to prison, I've never been to jail. Wayne's a badass. Jimmy is a young badass or aspiring badass. That is not me. I am not that guy. Can I get by? Sure. But that's not who I am. And I can't do this, so I'm going to have to tell the truth. I'm going to have to find a version of the truth where it puts me in the best light possible, and I'll try and do what I can do for Wayne. However, Jimmy I'll throw under the bus now that I know about him. Maybe I didn't know about him before. Whatever the case is, that's how it's going to go down. That's what will happen. The likelihood of everyone going, thick as thieves, brother, don't say anything, we'll be okay, as Mark loves to do this, where he's working through his negative energy and channeling his stress. He's not going to be thick as thieves. He's going to go, oh shit. I like going to the movies, and I like walking on the beach, and I like going to upscale malls and hanging out with my kids and just making projects. He's not going to want to go to prison and make papier-mâché masks with the guy down in the jail cell that wants to beat up Mark, because Mark has had a life that he never got afforded. Mark will crumble. And definitely Jimmy will, because he's the youngest out of all three of you. And he's got a baby on the way. He's taken on little baby Luke as a responsibility. He's taken on little baby Heavenly. She's 2-year-old. She cracks me up. She's adorable. She's so full of piss and vinegar. He's going to want to buy into that and say, my dad ruined my life, my mom got killed, I'm going to be a good dad, I'm going to be a good husband, I'm getting out of this. I'm going to pull my parachute. I love you, Wayne, but we don't really know each other that long. We had a really good time, so be it. Good time on the beach, good time this, good time that. But I'm going to go on with my life. Plus, I don't want to die. I don't want to die in prison. He's going to turn. And then you will be forced to keep saying, that was in Missouri, as we show. I'm trying not to laugh because it's crazy to me. All the GPS locations and the videos and the physical evidence that we thought was good and was not in the house, but you wouldn't believe the technology we have now, like as well as trying to audit and augment GPSs, for example, on how you can sift through metadata and you can find deleted items. Technology and the coding, you're right, it's crazy. It's very impressive where they are right now. So we get to put all this extra work in, and that's fine. I get paid to do that. I get paid by the hour. So it is what it is. And we'll never know the why. I can project my ideas, and I already projected all my ideas. I came up with most of my ideas. I'll try to think of more when I'm laying down in bed tonight. But we know what happened. It's just why. Are you going to tell me why?
I can't tell you anything because what you think happened didn't happen. So. Okay.
Can I take a break for a minute? Do you need to use the bathroom? Can I get you water?
I do need to use the bathroom.
You want to do? All right. Can me use the bathroom first? I'll come get you. Sure. All right. Thank you for your patience. I'll be right back. I don't know if you want to look at this. I'll be right back. Sit tight, okay? Okay. Sorry about that. Bathroom? Let's do it. Oh yeah. Just pull out the shoulders. is it. I don't want to keep you any longer than you want to be talking. This is what I know, and this is the last time I'm going to ask you. Right now, if you want to talk later on, so be it. I know that you were part of a conspiracy to commit the homicide upon Teresa Sievers. I know that you involved Ray Rodgers. I know that Mark Sievers involved you. On Saturday, June 27th, 2015, in the morning hours, you and Jimmy took a trip down to Florida, and you had some stops obviously on the way. On Sunday, June 28th, you arrived within Florida, you were already in Florida. You arrived within your target area, and you guys prepared and waited for Teresa to come home in the evening hours, and in the hours around 11 p.m. on Sunday night, at that point, you completed the act of committing the homicide of Teresa Sievers, and you arranged the scene to look as if it was a home invasion gone wrong, and then you cleaned yourselves up, and then got back in the vehicle, and immediately traveled back north, all the way to Missouri, which, you know, I will say that that's pretty bold. It's impressive. It's impressive you never got stopped by the police that I'm aware of. I'm impressed by that. Unfortunately, there were things that were done wrong that could have been done better that would have prevented your apprehension, and obviously that's why we're here. This is a real thing. After you and I leave each other, you will be taken down to Jefferson County Jail. This is not a hold. They're going to hold you, but then you're coming to Florida. You're being formally charged with second-degree homicide, which is punishable by life felony, and one of you three is going to roll on each other, and it'll be the domino effect. Ideally, I think the first person that tells the why and the details I don't know, somehow it just seems better to explain yourself than to just be perceived as a cold-blooded murderer. Which I don't think you're cold-blooded at all. I think you're very funny and witty, and you're hyper-intelligent, and I'm sorry all these crashes happened to you and affected your ability to do things you did. You did them well. And you've evolved, and you've found your way through life, and you're doing what you got to do. But lying to me in here right now about where you were when I know where you were is not going to help you, and that's okay. It's your choice for now. I think you'll change your mind, and if you want to do it later on formally with an attorney and a proffer, blah, 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 that's fine. I'm okay with that too. We'll go on the record and document all of it and do it accordingly. Do you have anything to say for yourself right now? Or are you going to tell me why you guys killed Teresa?
No, because it didn't happen.
No, because it didn't happen because you were in Missouri, right? Right?
I've answered all of your questions.
Okay.
I can't.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No.
Okay. If I want to talk to you again later on, will you talk to me?
I guess at this point.
Well, we're done right now, but I mean, if later on, when I see you in Florida, if I wanted to talk to you, will you talk to me? So you think about it, but
it would depend on what you want to talk to me about. But
sure. And I want you to know, if you ever want to talk to me, you seek me out, and I will come to you.
Yeah.
Okay? No problem. Anytime you want.
Because you live down there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Court.
I'm all over the place.
Coral, isn't it? Is that where you're at? Cape Coral?
Do I live in Cape Coral?
I don't know, for some reason, I thought that's...
No, I never told you where I live.
Oh.
Why do you think I live in Cape Coral?
I don't. I guess I was wrong.
Oh.
I just, for some reason, in one of the conversations, maybe it might not have been you. Maybe it was.
Oh. Yeah, nope, not Cape Coral.
We watched the fireworks on the bridge on the 4th of July.
Cape Coral? What do you think?
It was awesome.
Yeah,
that was
crazy. It's very impressive.
It has that band set up, and
that was neat.
Pretty cool.
Yes, neat. But with that being said, I want you to understand, because of these actions and because of your lack of action to explain yourself, that may be the last 4th of July fireworks show you ever see. I'm not being a smartass.
I understand. I understand what you're saying.
I want you to understand it. Okay.
There wasn't a lack of me explaining it.
Oh no, there's a lack of
you believing it.
Well, and a lack of you. Well, no, lack of you telling the truth, and an overwhelming amount of you telling lies. That's what happened, and that's okay. Like I said, we'll get past the lies eventually. You'll tell the truth, and I will be there for you to listen. We'll have another moment. It'll be good.
Okay.
All right. Sit tight.
How's this work?
How's what work?
So I'm going...
You're going to go to
Jeffco over there.
Jeffco, hold up, and then I'm going to have my U.S. Marshals friends. They're going to come get you and bring you down.
How do they do that?
They'll either fly or drive. I mean, I don't think they've ever done a train. I think they just do a flying and driving. Right with you, okay? Sit tight. I'll put some pictures of you. I forgot to do that last time. How long do you have those shoes?
Well, you know what? I had to buy them so you guys took all my shoes.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping to see some of the DNA that you guys were smart enough to buy new shoes at another place, which was smart. I didn't know that at that time yet, but I know now. So. Can you stand up, please? Trade sides with me. Go over there, please. Okay. Can you face that way? Can you turn slightly at an angle that way? And stay just like that. Don't move. Can you raise your hands up and stay at that angle?
Like over my head, or?
No, you're good like that. Just raise that way, because that's exactly the posture you had in that video we have of you. And then can you completely face the wall? You can put your hands down now. And now can you face your, keep going. Yep, perfect. Hold. And turn and face me. And turn and face that way. I want to get that tattoo up close. Any other tattoos? Any other scars besides the ones on your legs? Oh, yeah.
Big ones.
Wait, we'll do one more.
Oh,
yep, you're good. Put your hands up like this. As much as you can. Okay, forward. These are new shoes. No, I didn't think so. When did you get those shorts?
I have no idea.
Okay. How do you like them?
I like lots of pockets.
You like the pockets, right? I love the pockets. I love the pockets. Anything in your pockets right now?
No, they checked me a few times.
Yeah, I thought so. Hands, please. Yep, good. Yeah, we'll do one at a time. We'll just do that one first. Perfect. Can you rotate your hand so I can see the inside of it? Yep, perfect. Good job. And same thing with the other hand. Tops. Yep. And rotate. Okay. Can you think of any other photos that would be beneficial?
Yeah, I think we do.
What size shoe do you wear?
9.5.
9.5? Okay. I want to get a picture of your glasses too. You can keep your eyes open or closed, it's up to you. I'm not being funny, I swear to God, I'm trying to get your lenses. You're making me laugh now.
your eyes are just drawn to that dot in the center of it.
Yeah,
like,
so like,
Or-
yeah, what is it? Is that a scar too? Right there? What happened there?
yeah. They dripped solder on me when it was soldering over my head one time.
Hold on one sec.
That's what that is.
Okay. Alright, take a seat. Oh, hey, before we go, Ronnie Bolin. Do you know anything about the death of Ronnie Bolin?
Oh, I remember when all that happened.
Did you kill Ronnie Bolin?
No.
Do you know who killed Ronnie Bolin?
No.
Did anybody ask you to help cover up the death of Ronnie Bolin?
No. And they checked out all kinds of stuff and went through all that, so they...
His family's looking for answers, so if you ever feel like finding them out...
When I was looking for answers, Ron was my friend.
I know. I hear you.
Yeah. You know, that whole thing was handled very badly because there were people that saw what kind of vehicles it was that he got out of. Apparently there was like a revival going on across the street from where they found his car, and the guy that was there overnight saw him drive in, get out of the car, get in some white truck with other people, and they drove off and left his car there. And I mean,
Okay.
I don't think that they ever...
Where were you that night?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But
Were you with Ronnie Bolin the night he disappeared?
no. I saw him, I don't know, a day or two before we had lunch, which was common for us. We met there was back then Pizza Hut had a buffet, lunch buffet. It was all you could eat. We used to meet there.
That's nice.
A couple times.
Good memories.
And because Ron worked for me for a little while.
Why do you think he went missing?
I don't know. He
What would your guess be?
drugs, honestly.
Why?
Because he was into that. He was asking me that day when we had lunch.
What kind of drugs did he do?
You know, honestly, I'm not sure what all it was.
What did he ask you at lunch?
Doing. I think it was like crack or I can't even remember for sure. I mean, it's been so long ago.
Okay.
But he was asking me if I knew anywhere where he could get stuff at, and I didn't. I mean, that's something that's never been my thing.
Well, yeah,
not crack.
Not crack. no, but meth.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant drugs were never your thing. I'm like, wait a minute, come on.
No.
All right.
Yeah. No, I did my battle with that, but I've never tried any of the other stuff, the heroin or crack or any of that stuff. I just pills. I've never wasn't my thing. So.
Okay. All right. Sit tight. I'm gonna get somebody to transport you.
Okay. Come on, let's go.